welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria. And welcome to a very exciting vlog. So today, sorry, Pumpkin always gets disturbed. She decided to adjust herself. But today, we are going to be doing something super fun. So I was talking ad nauseum in another video, an ultimate book video, that I want to set up my reading journals for next year because there's already a bunch of things that are coming out with book clubs and challenges that are really going to set up a lot of what we're reading next year. And to be honest, I do think I'm going to cut back on my reading goal a little bit next year because I do want to focus on writing a lot more. And not that I want to stop reading, because I think, as Stephen King says in Stephen King on Writing, you know, reading is really important when you want to write fiction or nonfiction, like exposing yourself to different types of storytelling. It really engages your imagination. Like, okay, son, reading just helps writers, and it's fun and lovely. So I do want to cut back a little bit to make more time for writing because I've really had to put it on the back burner because of all of these challenges, and I've just got so many, like, I have other things going on, and so trying to make that time for that. And I also have more crafts I want to do. Like, I have like so many hobbies, and I feel like writing gets pushed to the back burner because of that, and it really shouldn't, because it's really something I want to do. The story I'm working on, I really want to get back into it. I miss my characters. I have workshopped a bit of things with my writing partner. Shout out. You're awesome, Ivy. So I really want to get back into it. I want to get this story done. I want to get the first draft complete so I can do editing and, you know, just have a great time. So I want to be more strategic about my reading next year, and a lot of that is going to already be predetermined because I have a book club that I've started myself, which is my Solstice reading book club. I also have the book club we're doing in a subsection of Gavin's subscription is the Once Upon a Time watch along, and we are reading a Twisted Tales books to go along with that. And so those will be part of my reading. Of course, I can't plan out exactly which one because we're going to vote on them, but that's already 2 books. Then I've decided I want to do Kayla's from Books and Lala's Buzzword-a-thon and Cover-a-thon. So that's 5 books already, and I already know at the beginning of the year I'm going to be reading the Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit along with Erin from Booked and Busy, because she is going to be doing a Middle-earth read-along, and I do want to read those books. So that, like, in and of itself is a pretty hefty TBR. I will also be including a lot more audiobooks in my reading because earlier this year I would say I wasn't doing as many audiobooks, but I definitely think I will be doing more next year with my driving and just like cleaning and just trying to get more stories in without necessarily always reading my eyeballs, even though I will say that is my preferred method of reading. And that is a very long-winded way of saying that I have been waiting since I received this first reading journal from Illumicrate to set these up for the new year. And as we are just a few weeks from the new year, I feel like it is time to get reading them. There are some like Illumicrate specific things in here, and you know, once we're setting this up, you'll see this more. You'll see it up close and personal. But they do have like a bingo card of like their books, and I won't be reading most of those, I think. So it's a good little overview of reading. So I'm going to kind of do a combo. So I have this Illumicrate one, like I mentioned, which is more of a snapshot of our month, an overview of what we've been doing for reading. And then I do have this one from Duncan and Stone, which I received in my advent calendar from Caffeine and Legends. And this one is a bit more in depth. Like, each page is a book review. There's also kind of a paper version of this as well, and then books to read, and then each page has, like, you can give more in depth, which I think will be good for my channel, because I do think sometimes I forget things when I go to do like a book review, and so I do think this will help me be a little more intentional with what I'm telling you all about the books I'm reading, because I feel like often if I like a book, and I feel like this is true with everything in life, if you like something, sometimes you have less to say about it because you're just like, I really enjoyed it. It was this, that, and the other, and it was great, and you should check it out. But like when I hate something or really have some problems with it, boy, can I go on a rant. So I think this will help me contextualize the books a little bit more. And there are, at the very end, there is like a year in review wrap up. I do feel like there's going to be some redundancy with this and this. And then I do also want to get my Goodreads and Fable account up to date, because I've only been using Storygraph this year, but I want to clean up my Goodreads. I've been kind of working on it. And then I want to get my Fable app to reflect my Storygraph information, but it looks like you can only import from Goodreads and not from Storygraph. So I'm like, well, if I update my Goodreads, then I probably don't have to do the extra work with Fable. I can just import it into Fable, and then all three of them will be collectively together. But there's so many different ways to track things, like double, triple, quadruple. So we'll see how it goes like throughout the year. But anyway, like I said, I have been rambling on and on. So we've got some things that we're going to do. The first thing I want to do is Kayla has created printables for the Buzzwordathon, and I want to put it in my reading journal so I can track it. So I've got to find a good place to put it. Especially because, like, I think I'm going to put it in the Illumicrate one. And I may, there's like this book unhaul area. There is, or a book haul area. Book series tracker, monthly wrap-ups. I think where I might put them, because I know I'm not going to use it, is the Illumicrate reading challenge. So I think I'm going to print them out and put them side by side here so we can track that. Since I'm not going to be using that page, I feel like it'll be a better use of it. So I'm going to pull that up now, and then we can get started on this journey. And we can also set our reading goals, because there is a spot here for our reading goals. So this is going to be this prep. We're going to be prepping for the new year. I'm very excited. Feel free to grab a warm beverage, a cold beverage, whatever you feel, whatever is, you know, bringing you comfort, and strap in, you know, get your reading journals ready, and we can go ahead and plan for 2025's reading goals together. Okay, so just printed out the covers, fill-ins for the Buzzwordathon and the cover challenge. Now I am running out of some colored ink, so my blue got a little jacked. Sorry, did I disturb you? But I'm gonna cut these out, and like I said, I'm going to place them in my over the Illumicrate reading challenge. I need to find, I have like the glue for planners, so I need to find that real quick. And we are about to start the Once Upon a Time watch along. So the chatty bits of this will probably not be going on for a hot minute, because I will be watching Once Upon a Time. So chat with you in a bit. Hello. This is about my 15th time doing this voiceover, but I wanted to go through the actual choices I made for the Buzzword challenge and the Buzzword cover challenge. So I'm going to take this month by month. So let's start off with January. January's cover challenge is a cover featuring a pattern, and I chose Little Women by Lisa May Alcott. I have a book that has a pattern on it, so I thought it would go great. Plus, I'm trying to read classics written by women outside of Jane Austen, since I've already read all of her books. So that'll go nicely with that challenge for myself, that reading goal for next year, hint, hint. For the January Buzzword, we have Truth in Lies, and I'm going to be reading Thief, Liar, Lady by D.L. Soria. For February, the cover challenge is a cover featuring a skyline, and I'm going to be choosing a 2025 release, which is Water Moon. And for the Buzzword, it's a water-related words, and I'm picking something that's been on my TBR for a hot minute, and that's On Such a Full Sea by Chang-Rae Lee. For the month of March, our cover challenge is a cover featuring books, and I'm going to be reading Bookshelves and Bone Dust. And for the Buzzword challenge, it's a cover including the word thing, and I'm going to be reading Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. For April, our cover challenge is something featuring an animal, and I'll be reading The Last Animal by Ramona Acebel, just sitting on my shelf and has been for about a year, along with The Goodbye Cat, and that is the Buzzword for April, which is also animals. For the cover challenge for May, it is a cover featuring eyes, and I'm going to be reading Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll, which has been on my TBR for a hot minute, and I am going to be reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams for the May Buzzword, which is 2 and 2. For June, our cover challenge is a cover featuring celestial objects. I'm being reading Half Soul by Olivia Atwater. And the Buzzword for June is memory-related words. So I'm going to be reading Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, which comes out in 2025. For our July cover challenge, the challenge is a cover featuring technology, and I have chosen Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And for the Buzzword for July, it is titles featuring punctuation, and I have chosen The Home Dash Maker by Dorothy Canfield. For the August cover challenge, it's a cover featuring transportation, and I've chosen A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. And for the Buzzword, it is With, and I've chosen Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. For September, our cover challenge is a cover featuring foliage, and I have chosen Feel the Burn by Andrew Schaefer, which I picked up on my Jane Austen adventure that I had in October. And for the Buzzword, it's Events, and so I selected The Wedding People by Alison Eschbach, which was a Goodreads Choice Award winner this past Goodreads Choice Awards. For October, the cover challenge is a cover featuring a weapon, and I will be diving into, finally, Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. For October, the Buzzword is Violent Words, and I'll be picking up Blood Over Bright Haven by N.L. Wong, which I received in my Caffeine and Legends Advent calendar this year. For November, the cover challenge is a cover featuring food and or drink, and I have chosen Convenience Store Women. The Buzzword for November is Never, and I have chosen The Cat I Never Named. And finally, for December, our cover challenge is a cover featuring a monochromatic color scheme, and I've chosen White Teeth by Zadie Smith. And for the Buzzword challenge, it is titles featuring alliteration, and I've chosen Maud Martha by Gwendolyn Brooks. So that is all 24 books that I intend on reading to complete these challenges, so that is super exciting. And I tried to do my best to fit them into some of the reading challenges that I am going to be trying to accomplish in 2025, but there were some that I just kind of picked out of what other people had already thrown into the story graph, which was super helpful because it was really hard to think of what books I wanted to read. And I was also hoping to grab books that have been on my TBR, have been sitting on my shelf for a while. So it was really great to do that. And I also really enjoyed putting these tiny little covers on the cover challenge here. I don't know if I was actually supposed to wait to fill them in,
but that's fine because we're going to be tracking it on Storygraph, and it just, to me, was really satisfying to have all the covers already printed and let me know exactly what I'm going for. I guess I can always reprint them if I change my mind, but I think it looks really cute. And speaking of reading challenges, so I haven't put that many challenges on here already, but I wanted to keep it open because there's always things that crop up throughout the year. But just to read them over, my first goal is to read all the books for the Middle Earth readathon. That is The Hobbit and the trilogy of the Lord of the Rings. Complete the Buzzword challenge, complete the Buzzword cover challenge, read 12 classics written by women authors, which you would see I've kind of tied into the Buzzword challenge and cover challenge as much as I could. I want to reduce my nonfiction goal and try to read 5 nonfiction books next year. I've also reduced the number I'm trying for to read 60 books by the end of the year because, like I mentioned earlier, I am trying to focus a little more on writing. And then finally, I'm trying to read 1 Kim Harrison book each month because I am trying to catch up on the Hollows series. So those are the goals I have thus far. There's still plenty of space, so if things come and go, I can add to it. But I think that's a pretty good list of goals for 2025.
Hello. Let me tell you how pissed I am right now. Let me tell you. So, I said to myself, all right, we have, hold on. So as you would have seen, we have set up the basics on our reading journal. There was actually a lot less to do in the actual setup for it because a lot of this won't happen until the months come. But I am very happy with this spread. What took me the longest was finding all the books for each category for the Buzzword-a-thon, Buzzword reading challenges, and the Buzzword cover challenge, and then setting some reading goals for myself. So that is all set and good, and I think it looks super cute, and I think this was such a good use of that page that I wasn't going to use. So happy about that. But since we finished that, I thought, okay, I really want to get my Goodreads situation situated and my Fable account situated. And I was like, oh, you can go ahead and import from Storygraph to Goodreads. It put all the books as read, even though they weren't read in Storygraph. So whatever happened here, it wasn't right. And so now I'm going to have to do exactly what I was doing before. I'm going to have to clean it all up. Hi, Pumps. Go ahead. Got it? Wow, good job. Good job, Arumba Pumps. Hello. It is, my friends, the next day. Different Christmas sweater, next day. And we have updated our Goodreads, and then was super easily able to import my Goodreads information into Fable. Actually, I will even show you how easy this was because I was shocked. Like, the story graph to Goodreads was not great. And I understand like Goodreads is kind of she's that girl. She's been around for a long time. So you kind of set up your apps to process something from something that everybody else might be leaving from or still might be using. So in a way, it makes sense to me that it was an easier transition. But shall I show you? So we go into the data section right here and literally go into import list and reviews from Goodreads. And when you click that, if you have the Goodreads app on your phone as well, it will instantly pull it. Like, I didn't have to, I thought I was gonna have to download an Excel file like I did with Storygraph and then import it into Goodreads, but I did not have to do that, which I thought was exceptionally wonderful. And I was so excited that I was able to do that. So all of my apps are up to date for this year. In fact, I did this exactly, I guess, a day before Goodreads launched the year in review. So I actually got my year in review and it was accurate, which is lovely. I already showed this to you. I feel like this video is done, but I am like so excited to get working with this. And I'm probably gonna start setting up my January monthly TBR soon, but I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start my January TBR soon to get going with it, because I do have some idea of what I will be reading in January. But outside of that, we are ready for 2025. At least when it comes to reading, and we are up to date on being able to talk about our end of the year stats and different things like that. So I think that's really awesome. I'm very excited. I am going to be doing, you know, my top 10 of the year. I actually, through Goodreads, made like a separate tab since I was already going through every book that I read in the year of 2024 thus far. I figured it would be good to like pull out what really spoke to me in the end and what I found to be the books that I love the most, but also the books that had like the biggest impact on me this year. So I pulled those out. I have 10. Thinking about the books I'm reading, oh, this light's kind of hurting. I'm just gonna turn it just slightly. Thinking about what I'm reading for the rest of the year, I don't see that there will be a change. There could be, but I feel pretty positive there won't. So I am looking forward to doing that. But, do I go through my Goodreads? Well, I guess we'll save that, right? Because we're gonna do an end of the year wrap. We'll do that. So, yeah, that is this video. I would love to see and hear how you're setting yourself up for 2025. Whether it's reading or otherwise, so feel free to drop that in the comments. If you have good recommendations for setting up reading journals, or you have a certain journal that you really like, let us know in the comments as well, because I have these two for this year, and we'll see if I enjoy the physical journaling. I feel like it's gonna be a lot, because I have Storygraph, Goodreads, Fable, and now I have this reading journal, so that seems like an intense labor of love when it comes to tracking my books, but that is a-okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you wanna stick around for more Bookish and Nerds content, feel free to subscribe. I upload every Wednesdays and most Sundays. And until next time, I hope you read a good book. I hope you find some joy. And most importantly, I hope you do something to make the world a better place. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!